CPM കേന്ദ്ര കമ്മിറ്റിക്ക് ശേഷം ജനറൽ സെക്രട്ടറി സീതാറാം യെച്ചൂരി മാധ്യമങ്ങളെ കാണുന്നു തത്സമയം.
The details are there in the press communique, but we have noticed that the price rise of all essential commodities is once again galloping. The price of vegetables particularly and dal, which is our staple diet, is rising at a phenomenal rate, imposing greater burdens on the people. And on top of it, you have these hikes in the prices of petroleum products, and you had now the sixth hike in the last 4 weeks, or the fourth hike in the last 6 weeks. 4 times the petroleum products the prices have been increased, and that too with diesel with a very hefty increase at a time when drought conditions still prevail. A lot of people are suffering due to lack of drinking water. Diesel is the basic fuel that we employ in pumping groundwater, and the cost of that rising means greater burdens on the people. Likewise, unemployment is rising. नीचे करें, ज़्यादा जोर हो गया या हाँ? Likewise, unemployment is rising, and despite all the slogans of Make in India, Stand Up India, etc., etc., there is no real growth in our industry. It's stagnating. In fact, manufacturing has registered, compared to last year for this month, a minus 1.1 growth. So that clearly means there are no factory jobs that are being created. Agrarian distress is deepening. Farmer suicides are on the rise. Minimum support price promised at the time of 2014 elections of 1.5 times the cost of production has nowhere reached anywhere to that level. The cost of production today is outstripping the value that the farmer receives for the sale of the product, and the rural incomes have fallen to the lowest in a decade. So this mounting burdens on the people. Against that, the Central Committee decided to organize a All India protest movement, and the decision is that between the 11th to the 17th of July, all over the country, the CPIM, all its units, will engage in protest actions and struggles, and focusing on the issue of price rise and unemployment. And along with this, take up the issues of distress to the people in that particular area where these actions will take place, and that will be connected with the agrarian distress that is deepening. So this is the first major call that we have discussed, and the second is on what is happening in our industry and the public assets of India. The Niti Aayog has been asked to furnish details of how much of governmental money will be needed to refurbish the public sector enterprises, not for making them viable and to run them, so that they can be sold to private hands. So the privatization of the public sector is moving at a mega scale at the moment. And at the same time, the working class rights, whether it's the Provident Fund, the interest rates on that, or the emoluments that they are getting, they are not rising. In fact, they are falling through governmental decisions. So Central Committee in this background has decided to extend full support to the September 2nd nationwide general strike call that has been given by the central trade unions, and that will be, the party will support that strike and do whatever is necessary to make the strike a big success. The Central Committee also noted with deep concern the sharpening communal polarization in the country. And what we have seen now in UP, with the statements by union ministers and the members of parliament, which again today also one of the ministers talked about saying how good saffronization of education is for India. And as the UP elections come close, it's very clear that this communal polarization will be sharpened further. All of us know of what has happened in Kairana and what is the actual truth there. A multi-party delegation visited Kairana of members of parliament. Mohammed Salim from the CPIM was there in the delegation. The report they presented, it is very clear that all this is designed and engineered to sharpen the communal polarization. And also the growing authoritarian trends were noted by the Central Committee, and all these issues the party will enter into a mass contact campaign program explaining to the people the dangers that are mounting on all the three levels: economic burdens on the people, growing communalization, and the growing trends at authoritarianism. Few days from now, we'll be observing the 41st anniversary of the imposition of internal emergency. In that background, this growing authoritarianism by this Modi government is very, very ominous. So we've decided that on this, a general public awareness campaign should be done, and all efforts to maintain communal amity. Then there's some other issues of importance, concern, which are there in the country's focus that we have discussed. One is on the GST. The Central Committee reiterated the point we have been making for the last 2 years. On the GST, the empowered group of state finance ministers, when the whole process began some more than a decade ago, was then headed by the left front West Bengal finance minister. They've given a report. There are 2-3 areas of basic concern on which the Rajya Sabha had stopped that GST bill from approving after Lok Sabha sent it to the Rajya Sabha. A select committee was appointed. The select committee, they were recommended many things, and there was a note of dissent by the CPIM. Our basic points have been the following. One, we said the GST takes away whatever residual right the state governments have to impose taxes to raise revenues for the interests of the state. They are legitimately elected governments. If there is a natural disaster, if there are some schemes for the welfare of the people that these governments decide, then the resources for that, today they'll have to be at the mercy of the central government. They'll have to go to the central government and ask for aid or whatever it is, but they do not have the right. This point has to be addressed. Second point is that there are states which lose, states which gain. The formula for compensation by the centre is something that has been worked out for 5 years, but this is something that's going to last for long. Beyond that 5 years, what is the mechanism? The states that lose out, how do they compensate their loss in revenue? They say there's a GST council. That council is like the TRAI or your other regulatory bodies, but that council cannot, in that sense, decide on the considerations, all of them, and thereby take an appropriate decision which would satisfy the state government as well as the central government. This is the issue that needs to be addressed. So what we ask the Modi government is call an all-party meeting. Every time in India, whenever an important legislation is brought for consideration, the government of the day calls an all-party meeting. Every party comes with their suggestions on that particular agenda. We try to build up a consensus. They have not done it for 2 years. This Modi government wants to treat this as a bilateral issue between the Congress and the BJP. And they want to treat it as a bilateral issue between the Union Finance Minister and the State Finance Ministers, whom is meeting bilaterally. So we have said that this has to be collectively discussed and decided through the forum of an all-party meeting and through a meeting of the state finance ministers together. You don't have the National Development Council now since the Planning Commission is abolished. So you have a mechanism where you can discuss all this together. And also another issue which we discussed and decided upon is to call for an urgent consideration of our electoral reforms in the light of what has happened in the assembly elections and the Rajya Sabha elections, where who will be elected to the Rajya Sabha is decided on how big a money bag he is, and that is not democracy. Election Commission has taken some initiatives, countermanded two assembly elections in Tamil Nadu on the question of this misuse of money power, vitiating the atmosphere for a free and fair election. But we are saying time has come for a comprehensive discussion on electoral reforms. And we had many suggestions in the past we have made. We are the only political party that says ban corporate funding to political parties. That is the fountainhead of corruption and the nexus between the politician, the businessman, and the bureaucrat in our country. But yes, all these things need to be discussed, including proportional representation system. So we want that to take place urgently, and we'll press for it in the relevant fora. Just a little while ago, you found the announcement of across the board permission for 100% FDI in various sectors in the country. And that includes your defense production, that includes also security concerns, I'm told. And anyway, the fine print we'll know a little later. But this across the board slew of these concessions to foreign direct investment, we think are also the direct byproduct of the latest Indo-US joint statement. And this is that India is providing our resources in terms of cheap labor and cheap physical resources for the maximization of profit by foreign capital. And that will be at the expense of our economy and our domestic industry. Already, the outflow from India is larger than the inflow of the FDI for the past few years. So if Indian capital is moving out to invest somewhere else, you are now opening it up for foreign capital to have greater access to India. I mean, it doesn't make any common sense, because obviously the problem is elsewhere. And that, instead of tackling that, you do that and give grandiose slogans like saying that make in India, immediately employment will grow up by 2%, foreign companies will come and start their units. And one company which had a unit here closed down and went away, could not, the Nokia in Tamil Nadu, and you've not been able to bring it back yet. So, anyway, given this, we think this is more of a concession to foreign direct investment. The result of this, India becoming a junior strategic partner of United States of America today. And this defense, FDI that has been relaxed, in defense areas otherwise also, you've seen now the Malabar exercises. Now Kerala, people would know, the Malabar coast is the west of India. And the Malabar exercises, the name was given so that these exercises were held on the Malabar coast. Now these Malabar exercises have moved to the South China Seas. India, Japan and the USA are having joint naval exercises called Malabar exercises in South China Seas. Now, what is the implication of India going into the waters of South China? What is the message that India is wanting to give? All of us know, the whole world knows that there are disputes in South China and about the waters. India has always said that these disputes will have to be settled peacefully in accordance with international law and international procedures. That is the stand we have always maintained. When that is the stand, what are the meaning of these exercises with Japan and with the USA in the South China Seas? There are serious implications. And I think we're going down the road of tying ourselves as the junior partner to the United States of America. And this is against our own interests of independent foreign policy, our own interests of our look east policy, of our good neighborly relations. All this will be severely undermined. So these are some of the issues of our concern. And then the major part of our discussion, of course, was on the review of the assembly elections. And that assembly elections we have reviewed for all the four major states and Pondicherry. And as far as Kerala is concerned, what we have stated earlier is a very big victory for the LDF, and it's a very decisive mandate that the people of Kerala have given us. We saluted them, we salute them for this mandate. At the same time, we also noted that in these elections overall, the BJP has gained and the Congress has suffered a setback. For the first time, BJP's government that has been formed in Assam with regional party outfits, that has some very, very grave implications. And communalization in that part of our country, that sensitive area of our country, has very grievous consequences. That will have to be wait and seen. But using Assam as the springboard, already efforts are on, like the destabilization of the Arunachal government, the other governments in the northeast, and this will have a serious implication for growing authoritarian trends and our center-state relations. Well, anyway, that apart, this BJP's aggressiveness outside of the victory in Assam was also seen in Bengal, Kerala. And in Kerala, they had mounted a very aggressive campaign, entered the Kerala Assembly for the first time with a lone seat, which has been more to a vote sharing or vote transfer agreement between the UDF and the BJP. 8 seats the BJP targeted, they came second in 7 and they won 1. But it has been assuming a very aggressive posture, and the post-poll violence that is taking place there already claimed the lives of 3 of our comrades. And this is a serious matter which we have noted and which needs to be countered with all effort in Kerala. In Tamil Nadu and in Assam, the party CPIM, the results are very disappointing for us. In both the states, we have not won any assembly seat. In both the states, there was a electoral understanding in an alliance, a 6 left party alliance in Assam and a 6-party alliance in Tamil Nadu. The effort was made in Tamil Nadu to break the bipolarity between the DMK and the AIDMK, but clearly it did not succeed. And the electoral results also, per constituency results that have come in both the states, are disappointing as far as the CPIM is concerned. So what the Central Committee just said was that our electoral performance is also directly proportional and dependent upon the independent strength and the intervention capacity of the CPIM. That is the primary issue that we will have to address and strengthen ourselves in building that. And in doing so, the decisions that we have taken in our party congress in plenum, they should be implemented in right earnest, and that job has already begun in both these states. In Bengal, the Trinamool Congress is returned to form the government with two-thirds majority. The elections period prior to the elections, the last 5 years, in fact, since the last state assembly elections, was a period of intense terror, violence and intimidation. CPIM lost 176 of our comrades in these 5 years, 9 post-election, plus 9 in the post-election. So braving all this terror, effort was made to bring together all the forces that will fight this politics of terror and defeat this politics of terror. But clearly that effort is not worked, not succeeded. Therefore, the Central Committee said that more work will have to be done to regain the lost basis of the left and the lost mass support that moved away from the CPIM and the left parties, to regain that. Efforts will have to be made to do that, but it's a very difficult process in this sort of a reign of terror that exists there. But despite this sort of a terror and this intimidation and violence, 2,15,00,000 people voted against the BJP and the TMC in this favor, and it is not a small number. And the difference with those who have won it's about less than 30 lakh votes between the two. So we saluted those who voted for us despite all this terror, etc. And then the Central Committee decided that post-election, the violence that has been unleashed in Bengal, that violence must be met by seeking to create the broadest possible people's unity of resistance against this terror. And that broadest possible people's unity, we've called upon the people of Bengal to join this people's resistance against this terror. And those activities have already been planned. The Central Committee heard the West Bengal Committee's plans of the various protest actions that they've undertaken, and we'll seek that broad unity there. The Central Committee concluded that the electoral tactics adopted in West Bengal were not in consonance with the Central Committee decision for not having an alliance with or an understanding with the Congress party. This, the Central Committee noted, should be rectified, and the electoral line of the party should adhere to the political tactical line that we adopted in our party Congress. The Central Committee therefore authorized the Politburo to ensure the implementation of this political tactical line in consultation with the West Bengal's party secretariat, and those schedules for those meetings are being worked out. So that is the decision as far as West Bengal is concerned. So as far as the political people's movement in the country are concerned, basically two calls that the Central Committee is given. One focusing on our protests against price rise, our protests against unemployment, and the growing agrarian distress and increasing burdens on the people from the 11th to the 17th of July. And in the first week of August, a countrywide solidarity actions and protests in solidarity with the people fighting for the defense and restoration of democracy in Bengal and against the violence unleashed by the Trinamool Congress combined. And on these two central calls will be observed, apart from extending our support to the September 2nd general strike by the working class. So this is the not in a nutshell decisions of the general.
Sitaram, what will happen to the
One.
What will happen to the alliance that has already been formed with Congress to fight against
That was an electoral alliance, no?
Now still it is going on.
Elections there.
No election after post-poll alliance.
We called for the broadest people's unity of resistance.
Congress, includes Congress.
Broadest possible people's unity. What does it mean?
And Congress is there.
What else does it?
15 lakh vote, does it consist of the Congress votes also?
Yeah. That's why we said 2 crore 15 lakh votes, people who voted against the BJP, against the TMC BJP. Of this, the detail breakup is there. 1 crore 48 lakh odd is the left vote. 67 lakh around is the Congress vote. One third, 2/3.
For electoral alliance, they have to take permission of Politburo, they have to consult Politburo for electoral alliance. But for joint movements, they are allowed.
But now it is the question of a movement of resistance against this terror. Elections are over. Like our Prime Minister, we keep saying that get out of the election mode and come and start doing work. You also get out of the mode. That is over now. Now is the question of.
Your CC communique actually always allows us to get in the election mode. You're talking about rectifying the electoral tactics. Why you are using this word, this thing now? Isn't the
How can they rectify now?
There is no scope of rectifying this thing because there are no elections.
Since you are
talking about rectifying, this is right.
We are talking about the fact that the line that they pursued was not in consonance. That it was not in consonance what we said in the last Politburo. That it is not in consonance. Why that happened? What was the thing? Those are the matters that need to be rectified.
Sitaram, when you say it was not in consonance with the BGL, see, but then who are responsible? Is this a Bengal party or the political? Because CC had authorized the DP also to work out the tactics sitting around the Bengal party.
Yes, both have it. That is why the problem is. That is why the point the Central Committee said the Politburo goes in with the Secretariat and then do the process.
सर आज एक आपकी जो पार्टी कार्यकर्ता है सेंट्रल कमेटी मेंबर 30 साल से वो सीपीएम में थी और उन्होंने यही बात कही जो आप ब्रॉडली कह रहे हैं और उसके लिए उनको पार्टी से निकाल दिया गया और पूछा तक नहीं गया जैसे जनरल प्रोसेस
इसीलिए नहीं निकाला गया। मैं यहीं पे बैठा था इसी कुर्सी पे, मीटिंग चल रही थी। मानिक सरकार हमारे चेयरमैन थे। हर मीटिंग को कोई ना कोई प्रिसाइड करता। तो एक सवाल पे मतलब निर्णय हो रहा था जनरल कमेटी मीटिंग में। उस निर्णय जब हो रहा था उसके बीच में उठकर जगमती ने ये बात कही कि वो इस्तीफ़ा देना चाहती। तो यहीं से बैठ के मानिक सरकार ने कहा कि अब कुछ और एजेंडा जिसको हम फाइनलाइज कर रहे हैं इसको हो जाने दो, अभी बैठो आप एक नई बात रेज कर रहे हो, अभी आप बैठिए, इसको ख़त्म करें जो जिसके प्रोसेस में है, उसके बाद आपकी बात रेज हो सकती है, अभी बैठिए आप। जगमती बैठी नहीं। उस समय वो उठकर मतलब मीटिंग से चले गए और बाहर जाके चल रहा था, मीटिंग चल रही थी, हमें तो पता ही नहीं था। बाहर जाकर उन्होंने कह दिया कि उन्होंने इस्तीफ़ा दे दिया। ये हुआ मीटिंग में। तो इसीलिए कहना इसकी वजह से निकाल दिया, उसकी वजह से निकाल दिया, निकाला नहीं गया, वो चले गए इस्तीफ़ा दे के। ये काम जब किसी भी मीटिंग में कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी की नहीं, आपके यहाँ भी शायद एडिटोरियल मीटिंग में होती है, जब आप किसी एक बात पे जब बातचीत होती है, आप सडनली एक और बात पे एजेंडा ले आओ, तो एडिटर साहब कहेंगे रुक जाओ, इस बात को ख़त्म करके उसको लेंगे। अगर आप तब तक इंतज़ार करने के लिए तैयार नहीं हो और उठ के चले जाते हो तो वो ग्रॉस इनडिसिप्लिन नहीं है। और ना सिर्फ चले जाते हो, जाके बाहर घोषणा कर देते हो।
Somnath Chatterjee doing the same thing. Somnath Chatterjee was daring the party throughout. You gave him enough explanation. He was also
member of the party as much as he was.
Not summarily
But
expelled
he
from
was
party.
not, Somnath Chatterjee was not summarily sacked. You gave him enough option
He
to
also
reply
denied.
everything.
Correct.
How
All that.
different you are. Isn't this?
Listen. All that could have been given here also. But the point is for the concerned person to wait, don't let one agenda that is going on, let it finish.
That point of yours is taken.
Somnath Chatterjee, if you do this to Somnath Chatterjee, he was talking to the whole world, he was there in the party on a daily basis. You still gave him a long rope, gave him time to explain, and then you sacked him from the party.
He never left his agenda halfway through and walked out and announced my resignation. That is never done. That is never done. You are discussing something, the agenda is going on. We say let us dispose of what is at hand and then we'll take up what you are saying. But then the person chose not to and went out and announced.
Is the party
Consider the
action against
What about the
constituency
constituency
rate?
rate?
আমি বাংলায় জিজ্ঞেস করছি সেটা হচ্ছে
What about the
তার
constituency
মানে
rate?
আপনারা কি বলতে চাইছেন যে কংগ্রেসের সঙ্গে আগামী দিনে একসঙ্গে আন্দোলন করা যাবে কিন্তু নির্বাচনে কোনো
নির্বাচন কোথায় ভাই এখনই?
পঞ্চায়েত ভোট আছে বা
আরে দেখুন না, আমরা যেটা বলছি কি আজকে যে পরিস্থিতি আছে ও পরিস্থিতিতে পিপলস রেজিস্ট্যান্সকে স্ট্রেংথেন করতে হবে। পিপলস রেজিস্ট্যান্সকে স্ট্রেংথেন করতে হবে তো ব্রডেস্ট পসিবল রেজিস্ট্যান্সকে বিল্ড করতে হবে। और ब्रॉडेस्ट पॉसिबल रेजिस्टेंस के हम सबाइके আমরা অ্যাপিল করছি কি এসে পিপলস রেজিস্ট্যান্সকে স্ট্রেংথেন করুন। আর কি হলো ইলেকট্রাল ট্যাকটিক্যাল লাইনে কি নেই ও রেক্টিফিকেশন যেটা করতে হবে তাই জন্যে পলিট ব্যুরো আর গিয়ে ওখানে স্টেট কমিটির সঙ্গে বসে ওদের উপরে বিচার করে ও রেক্টিফিকেশন প্রসেস করবে।
After the explained that Modi, did the party send a senior leader to convince of a consultant?
I'm sorry?
Did this party send a senior leader to convince of consultant? They had told a Politburo member visited her after she was expelled from the party.
Ask them. I'm telling you what we have decided as the party.
At 44,
She is also in the women's organization.
So will she be removed?
The leaders of the women's organization may have gone there. We are very democratic.
So what was the
What about the questions he raised? What about the larger questions he raised?
violation of party.
What about the larger question? You are not talking about.
The larger question was what was being discussed. And what was decided on the larger question is what is there in the press communique. That has been given to you. That is the answer to the larger question. That is what was being discussed at that point of time.
was it specifically in relation to Bengal?
Hmm?
Was it specifically in relation to Bengal? Because that's what she said.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, there was nothing that was said here.
She
All
said-
that was said here, she got up and said, I want to resign from the Central Committee. The chair said that you are bringing up a new issue. We are discussing one agenda, let us finish that agenda, then we'll take that up. She chose not to wait and she left. So on what, where, nobody in the Central Committee knows on what issue, what is the thing at all. All that was announced was that I am resigning from the Central Committee.
सर ठीक है
वो रेक्टिफाई करने वाला जो आपने लिखा हुआ है, क्या रेक्टिफाई का मतलब है कि अब बंगाल में जो रिलेशन था कांग्रेस का वो खत्म हो गया या फिर आगे भी नहीं होगा? अंडू तो आप से कर नहीं सकते इलेक्शन है।
देखो भाई, जो मैं कहा जो आपको सोचना है सोचिए, आपके ऊपर कोई पाबंदी नहीं है, आपकी जनवादी अधिकार है, बिल्कुल आप सोचिए। लेकिन जो हमने कहा यही कहा कि वो लाइन इलेक्ट्रल लाइन वहाँ पे जो लागू किया गया वो हमारे पार्टी कांग्रेस और के पॉलिटिकल टैक्टिकल लाइन से सहमत नहीं है। वही इसीलिए तो बोले कि पैनल कमिटी सेड बोथ द पॉलिट ब्यूरो एंड द स्टेट सेक्रेटरी यू विल बोथ हैव टू सिट टुगेदर, work this out and rectify.
But Sitaram, Sitaram also mentioned that there was nothing concerned as a PTF. After that, we hear Surya Kanta was not going around and create documents justifying the alliance. Are you planning any action against him?
We are what happened then happened. The rectification is now for the future.
No, even after the results, he has said they are going on.
I know. Said that we discussed all that.
It was the right decision.
We discussed all that, and after on that basis of the discussion, this is it.
No, you gave a promise to B.S. Sachidhanandan that you will be given a cabinet rank position. But now the kind of humiliation he is suffering in the party, is there any solution for that?
Who told you I gave any assurance?
You didn't give any assurance. Did the party give any assurance?
They will come.
Yeah, you call him Fidel Castro.
Fidel Castro.
But we are asking, did the party give any assurance?
Listen, that is the point that we have made and discussed with Comrade V.S. Achyutanandan. He was here for the last 3 days for the Central Committee meeting. The point has been discussed with him. The point has been discussed in the Politburo. The matters are, whatever concerned matters are under the consideration of us, and things will be done soon. I said, don't worry. And to you particularly, I'm telling you, before election I told you, don't worry, everything will be okay. You didn't believe me. After elections, when everything was okay, you didn't still believe everything was okay. I said, everything will be okay. Now again I'm telling you, everything will be okay. Relax. I'll appoint the time for you.
Have we reached a closure on Jagmeet Sagwan? I mean, what is the party proposed to do? Or have we closed the chapter? Which we call back? What is the final line that party?
If somebody voluntarily chooses to go back, then what can anybody say? That is what.
Anybody demanded your resignation to CC? Anybody demanded the party resignation to CC?
Nobody demanded anybody's resignation. Not only mine. Next question will be, have I demanded anybody else's resignation? No. Nobody's resignation, nobody demanded. Our Communist Party functions in a manner all of you know. I mean, we function where we discuss all our issues collectively. We come to the conclusion of what are the mistakes, why mistakes, self-critically admit, not merely admit, but also attempt to correct them.
सर, पर जगमेत सांगवान ने एक बड़ा सवाल आपके लिए जो उठाया, उन्होंने उसका आपने जवाब नहीं दिया। उन्होंने कहा कि जो लाइन को डाइल्यूट किया गया, जो बंगाल में गलती हुई,
जनाब,
कहा कि उसको बचाने के लिए डाइल्यूट किया गया।
अरे जनाब, ये सवाल अगर आपके साथ उठाया गया तो जवाब आप दीजिए ना। हमारे मीटिंग में उठाते तो हम देते हैं। अरे साहब, अब्बास साहब, आप फिर वही बात बोल रहे हैं। अगर हमें जब वो बोलती है कि हम रिज़ाइन करना चाहते, चेयरमैन बोलता है रुक जाओ, ये एजेंडा को ख़त्म करके हम करेंगे, तो वो जब रुकी नहीं और चली गई, तो उसके बारे में तुम क्या अपन कौन क्या करेगा या क्या कर सकता है? 3 days the issue was discussed. Of course she did. Of course, I mean 3 days everybody spoke. 77 people spoke. I'm sorry? It's a victory for the CPI. Thank you. On that note, we'll thank you for that.
രണ്ട് ദിവസത്തെ കേന്ദ്ര കമ്മിറ്റി യോഗത്തിനും ഇന്ന് നടന്ന PB യോഗത്തിനും ശേഷം ജനറൽ സെക്രട്ടറി സീതാറാം യെച്ചൂരി മാധ്യമങ്ങളോട് സംസാരിക്കുകയായിരുന്നു. അദ്ദേഹം പറഞ്ഞത് വിലക്കയറ്റത്തിനും തൊഴിലില്ലായ്മയ്ക്കുമെതിരെ രാജ്യവ്യാപക പ്രക്ഷോഭം നടത്തും. 11 മുതൽ 17 തീയതി വരെയായിരിക്കും പ്രക്ഷോഭം നടത്തുക. കൂടാതെ വിദ്യാഭ്യാസ രംഗത്തെ കാവ്യവൽക്കരണം ഏറെ ആശങ്ക ഉളവാക്കുന്നതാണെന്നും കേരളത്തിലെ LDFന്റെ വിജയത്തെക്കുറിച്ചും കൂടാതെ ജഗ്മതി സാഗ്വാളിന്റെ രാജി സംബന്ധിച്ച കാര്യങ്ങളും മാധ്യമപ്രവർത്തകരുടെ ചോദ്യത്തിന് മറുപടിയായി അദ്ദേഹം പറഞ്ഞു.